This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
It's Monday night, it's RaceSpotTV. Where else would you be this evening? Welcome to Shimosuma, Japan at the Tsukuba race circuit. Motor racing circuit up here. It's approximately just over 2 kilometers in length and with some of the most original corner names from turn 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a very original race circuit here, but Rachel Watford and Linus Brostrom here tonight with you for Monday Night Skippys and all the action. As we've been expecting, Linus, this track is short, but it's very tight and always provides great racing.
Yeah, it is. We've not been here very many times, but the times we've had some really good racing, and it's a very tight track and the lap is not long, so with 50 plus cars on the grid, it's bound to be a very exciting, entertaining race.
Yes, it is, of course, and we're looking to get ready to start that any moment now. This track tonight is kind of typical of the classic Japanese circuits we expect. It's very slippery. The cars have performed pretty well. We've seen quite a few people drifting in these corners. Maybe have some people off kilter, as it were, perhaps during the race, but the way things are looking should be fairly tight for us tonight. Well, we're going to get ourselves to the qualifying order as the clock hits 0. Qualifying on pole tonight, it's going to be Claire Hughes there in a 42 car, with Simon Edwards in second place. Anthony Catt in third, with Ben Daniels in fourth, Matt Cox fifth, S.J. Dunning, Paul Grillo, Mark Mercer, Anthony P.M. Jones, and Andy Witt in 10th. Behind them is Pete Newman, Clark Williams, Sarah Savage, Ewan Patterson, Lee Anderson, Tom Ward, Matthew Crisp, Jake Ridlington, Stefan Nobis, and Daniel Tufts. The rest of the results up on your screen. We have got 24 laps around this 12-turn circuit tonight. And it's going to be a very exciting race. Weather at the moment, we're looking about partly cloudy, track temperatures about 109, air temp about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is calm. We've got humidity about 69% from about 30 inches of pressure. So we're looking fairly average in that regard. We're looking about where things normally play out here. Should be a good race. The cars taken to the grid, as we mentioned, 50 cars. Pole time here, 1 minute 02.2. Where's our 03.2? That takes us all the way up to 35th place. Yeah, our 1 second bracket, Linus, is pretty meaty.
Yeah, it's well over half the field, and as you can see now, we've got cars starting all the way back through the last corner, so the last bunch of people are going to have a bit of a struggle seeing those lights, but they'll get a jump on the cars in front since they have a much shorter way around. Here we go.
Lights gone on the gantry as we get ready for this race. Green flag flies. It's a good start. The beginning of this lap, of course, very much like Zolder, Linus. Zandvoort, actually, I would be correct in saying. Not banked, of course, turn 1, but we've got this shoot after turn 1, which really lets the cars run out. It's full wide back there with a car turning in the back end of your group there. Trying to work out who exactly that happened to, but it was right at the rear of our field there. I think that was the 59 or 52. Stefan Nobis, it was in fact Nobis. He gets run into from behind.
Oh, massive crash in turn number 4. There's a car smoking, 2 cars turned away the wrong way around, and that's going to take out quite a few people. Liam Carr is in, that's more people crashing now. As we've got, who is that? Is that Christopher Simmons parked the wrong way around on the track, and Ryan G. Walker, I believe, is in that as well. Car up in the air, is carnage back there.
Absolutely crazy, this race popping off as our leaders already looking to finish lap number 1 here at Tsukuba. This lap does not last very long at all. Only 3 seconds longer than Lime Rock Park in terms of actual timeliness, but of course this track has got about 5 or 6 more corners, so that tells you just how much faster a track it races as. Our top group there is Hughes, Edwards, Katz, Daniel, Cox, Dunning, Grillo. No real change of positions there from your leaders. Apart from Clark Williams, who's jumped from 12th to 9th already, passing Patterson and Ward and Nobis. But big carnage towards the rear of our field, as you point out, Linus. Everyone all over the place. Seeing a lot of cars a little bit gun shy after that incident. Looking back here, Dave Kirkman in the 88 machine. He's running 25th place right now. Trying to hold off the cars of Bird and Maycock. Right behind him here, as he will still have the line just about. A little bit of contact there, nearly right behind them. Just hold it in place there. Kirkman gets the breathing room he wanted. Should hold that position.
He does, and Bird and Brown still side by side behind him through the hairpin, but it looks like Brown is going to get a bit of a jump there. Actually, yeah, he is on Bird. He's now going to have to watch out for Maycock behind, but he's not going to be close enough, so Bird goes up next to Brown again. Gets a good run down the straightaway. He's going to have the outside now for the next corner. Let's see if he can sweep around it in the last corner. It looks like he may well be doing that. Side by side behind as well, but D. Brown is going to have to succumb that position to Steve Bird, who's going to move up into 23rd place with a few cars going into the pits.
Certainly is, a lot of those cars going to be dropping out here, but this is what we expect on these carnage circuits where everyone's very close in timeliness. It's a very short lap time, things get very ferocious. And the track, as we mentioned, is slippery. It's not that grippy European tarmac we tend to see. Maybe this is a RaceSpotTV thing, but it always seems to be a factor. On every Japanese circuit we see, the racing is just that much more slippery.
Yeah, it's for some reason the Japanese tarmac doesn't have as much grip as the usual European or American tarmac, shall we say. So it provides some more interesting racing and some, well, a lot less grip for the drivers. So you can
a bit of
see
a loss of speed for Ben Daniels there in the final corner. Just went out wide. This should give an opening here to SJ Dunning behind him. Actually, that's Matt Cox right behind him, I should say. SJ Dunning's behind that group as well. Didn't quite get an opportunity this turn by. Will have to keep himself pushing there. Try and catch back up again. And I know this is something we always bring up, Linus, at the Japanese racetracks, but I think it's a factor in these races. The reason we always bring up, of course, Japanese tracks, they use volcanic rock in their aggregate for their tarmac. In Europe, they use granites, they use rocks that have been dug up. Different kind of geology, meaning that the volcanic rock is much smoother. It means smoother tarmac, slipperier, less grip. So there's science behind this stuff. We're not just making it up here, as Alan Patterson gets out of the way of your leaders as they come through here on lap number 4 to head down the back straight there. You know, I'd often like to see races on that little kart track over there, Linus, or the oval behind this track. Tsukuba is such a very compact but action-packed motorsport facility.
Yeah, it is. It's got kind of everything almost, and it's very short laps on all the tracks, but still a great facility for all sorts of racing, as top 5 are still going on here, and we see Patterson pulling off there on the straightaway. I think he's had enough of this race. So he's done for the day, but Ben Daniels still chasing Anthony Cat here, trying to make his way into the top 3. Edwards right on the back of Leah Hughes now, though. He's not going to make a move just yet. He's just going to sit there and wait. As you can see, Daniels locks up slightly. And here we have a side-by-side a bit further back in the field. For, I believe that's 13 and 14, Robertson and Stack going at it. Actually, that's even further back, so that's Goatley and Knight.
If we look from about 9th place here, Clark Williams up ahead of him. It's Grillo, Dunning and the group in there, including Tom Ward. And they're having a good little fight here, of course, as Tom Ward just bringing up the rear of that group, actually. Clark Williams there, Paul Grillo, SJ Dunning involved there as well. Coming through towards the conclusion of lap number 5 here. And was it a good run here by Grillo? Takes it wider on the exit there. Will it give him enough speed to do anything with this? We're seeing very little passing from what I've seen. It seems to be a lot further back. We're seeing making moves through here, but once they get towards the front of this racetrack, Linus, oh, Ward plows into the corner there. He lost a lot of speed, in fact, just then through turn 1. That car didn't like it. He just dove in way too hard, I think.
Yeah, he's not had a good qualifying today, and he's moved up a few spots in the race, but he's been struggling. So I don't think either he's got a bad setup or he just doesn't like this track, because he doesn't seem to be able to get it together at all. He was quite slow in practice as well outside the top 10, so he's been struggling all evening long here, but he is getting closer to these 4 guys in front of him now, even though he's still struggling, but getting closer to Clark Williams, so we might see him get into P6 or 7 here before the end of the day if he can just get a little bit closer, but it looks like he is getting slightly closer, so see what he can do.
We'll have to look what happens to Tom Ward here. Last lap was a 102.370. As he does seem to be ploughing the entry to the corners. He's diving it too hard, trying a little too hard, perhaps, Linus. This time by a 102.395. So slightly slower is up ahead of them, side by side there with Anthony PM Jones. And I believe that's going to be Paul Grillo. Clark Williams looks to the rear of them as well, as the 2x2 will draw Williams into this fight just behind the lead group here. Clark Williams sneaky doodle up the inside there. He's going to have a look, but it won't be enough there, as Anthony Jones will secure that spot after running wide there. Good try, but the 2x2 really constituting as people here, as Grillo got a bit of a slide there, Linus, coming out of the corner. Up ahead of him, the lead 5 there, nose till like a bobsled team, as Grillo goes up the inside there, keeps it nice and tight. Good exit from the corner, and he'll drop down.
Got a move for the lead here. Simon Edwards looking on the outside of Leaus, and I believe this is one of the first moves we're going to see for the lead here in a very long time. He's not going to be able to do it though.
I'm liking it though. Look.
He's going to get a run. Cat goes wide behind him, but here he comes again. He's going to look to the left. He's going to have the outside down into turn 1 again. Here comes Cat. It's a very short run though, so not a lot is going to happen, and Leaus is just going to be able to hold on to that lead. There's just not enough straightaway to get a draft here, I don't think.
No, there isn't, but what I liked about that we saw from Simon Edwards is he took an aggressively wide entry into the final corner. And he gave him huge momentum through the corner, which he managed just right to get a run coming out of that corner, but like I said, the straight too short, he went to the wrong side. He's going to have to go to the inside. I just don't think Clay Hughes is going to give him an opening that lets him do that, Linus. That's the big difference here. I think it's about how well you defend at a racetrack like this. It's a dogfight. It is not a protracted campaign. These guys are going to have to just force an opening to try and make anything work.
Yeah, Leaus, as soon as Edwards gets close to him, he just moves to the inside going into the next corner. So there's not much room for Edwards to do anything, but he's just going to have to force it somehow if he can. He's a bit further back this time, might be able to get a run down the straightaway this time, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. Hughes is going to get a good exit. Edwards going to get slightly closer, but he's going to be way too far behind, so going to have to settle for second for now on lap number 9 of 24. So still got a long way to go. He might just be trying out what's working and what's not, but still a 5-way battle for the lead, so still anybody's game. Cox in 5th is less than a second behind Leaus, so they've all got the same amount of chance to win this race, I would say.
Speaking of chances, Tom Ward has closed in here from P10. Started in 16th, so he's up 6 spots already. But now he's in the back of Clark Williams here with this group ahead of him, including Williams, Grillo, Jones, and Dunning. And Tom Ward slowly stalking them, finding some time here. This group isn't dropping back really from the guys behind them, but Nobis and Tufts have joined up as well. So maybe it's more that perhaps not Tom Ward going faster, because looking at his lap times here, he's actually slowed down, 102.519 last time by. Maybe the guys ahead of him forced and they've backed up, because as you see here, Nobis and Tufts also catching up to this group, although it's separated a bit more now. Williams gets a run there on Grillo, goes to the inside, should have the line for the corner. Grillo hold it around the outside though is the question. I think he's going to just maybe with the next corner biasing back towards Grillo. Side by side here, Grillo and Williams down through 2 into 3 here. Bit of a sideways, lost some momentum there.
He got hit from behind as well. Tom Ward drove into the back of Grillo.
Nowhere he could go, I don't think, Linus.
No, he was just stuck in between, boxed in between Williams and Grillo, so a slight hit into the back of Grillo there by Tom Ward, but I don't think it will hurt him too much. So we'll see here, he moves to the inside of Grillo. He's going to try and get this 9th position. He's got cars right behind him as well, but Tom Ward is going to have a worse exit here from being on the inside, so he's not going to be able to do anything here. Cars behind are not close enough though. That's Nobis, first of those 2 cars, but it's going to try again here into the last corner. Goes right on the back of Grillo, trying to set him up now onto the straightaway, but it's not going to be enough as he gets a bit wide on the exit and going to lose speed.
Yeah, you can see him wobbling slightly during the corner there. He just got a bit sideways, and you see him take a defensive entry there to 1. Tom Ward pushed it during that corner, but you saw the car just not quite grip. You saw him step outwards on his exit there, just getting a little wide, having to open that steering because the car felt like it was going to twitch here. It's looking towards our lead now. Things looking a little close there between Edwards and Hughes. Edwards right on the back here of the Welsh driver. The 52 after the 42. Only 10 places between the numbers, but not between their bumpers. It's really close here. Edwards needs to get a great run here. Lap 11 of 24, approaching the halfway point in this race, Linus, in a couple of laps, and we've seen nothing really from this top group in terms of positioning. Anthony Jones up from 9th to 6th now. That group separating out, in fact, behind the leaders and dropping back somewhat, but this top 5 have been absolutely rock solid here from what we've seen.
Yeah, coming up on another lap car here as well now. That's Brian Cursor, but he's getting out of the way nicely by the looks of it. And these 5 just running 1, 2, 3, 5 like they started. And Edwards has been trying to make moves, but other than that, they've just been sitting there happily following each other. I don't know if it's a strategy game to get enough of a gap like we usually see from the front guys, or if you just can't do anything because they're just too evenly matched. But with the short straightaways as well, you don't get the help from the draft that you usually do. So I think they might just be too evenly matched to be able to do anything to each other without a mistake.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing I just want to point out here is we saw back on the billboards there, this is how dedicated iRacing is to accuracy in their racetracks. iRacing is so dedicated to accuracy of the tracks they recreate that there's even a Gran Turismo sign in there. Yeah, there's a billboard for another game in iRacing, because that's how dedicated they are to being accurate. This is what Tsukuba looks like. This is probably one of the most accurate representations you can get in video gaming, and seeing how this place races, it's exciting for me. It's a very tough track. It might look simple, it might look short on paper, but these guys are having to work for it, and they're going to have to be creative to make those passes.
They really are. And meanwhile, Dunning and Clark Williams are getting around that lap car as well. Ward almost ran into him behind Grillo as well, but they all get through there nicely. P number 6 PM Jones has got a bit of a gap though to Dunning in 7th, so he's been able to pull away, so he's pretty solid there in P number 6. That's a good day for him, I believe. Williams though got Paul Grillo all over the back of him, so doing a good job. Dunning gonna have to watch out as well, but these guys seem to be running in a line as well now, like the guys in front are doing. Meanwhile, Tufts and Nobis behind them, bit of a side-by-side moment, but they're gonna single file back out as well. So see if Tufts can get a run back on Nobis here. Don't think he will. He's gonna stay behind, maybe get him on the straightaway unless he has a late dive, but he's gonna stay in 12 for now.
Clark Williams getting a good run at the final corner there, trying to get something here on SJ Dunning. Looks possible, looks to the inside here, but the inside's not always a guarantee with a shallow entry. But has a strong run through the corner there as he might come out of this one, and still side by side. This brings up Grillo from behind as they're 2 by 2 now coming into left-hand turn 3. This should all go the way here of SJ Dunning. And as expected, it does. The door just isn't even open, it just closes naturally. Grillo and Ward looking for an opportunity to get his nose inside Paul Grillo, but doesn't quite get it done. Bit of a slide there from the 2 ahead of them. Dunning and Williams sliding sideways. Up ahead, still really no change. We're not going to really focus on it until something does happen for those guys, but Anthony Jones has really pulled away here. He's the one that's really broken off from this group behind him who are fighting, and it's benefited him. He's locked himself into a comfortable 6th place right now, but not looking like he's catching the top 5 either.
No, he's keeping a pretty steady gap there of about 3.5 seconds up to Cox in 5th. But looking on the last lap there by Clark Williams, when he got up the inside of Dunning, he took a really shallow line, so I don't really know why he did that. If he would have stayed a bit wider, I think he might have been able to do it, but this time he's not going to do it. He's just going to stay behind and going to stay single file behind as well, even though Ward is really close to Grillo. And this group suddenly is back up to 6 people again, all really nose to tail to each other all the way through. And looks like Chris J. Robertson and Tony Stack is closing back up on this group as well now that they're battling like this.
Absolutely is, of course, is up front Claire Hughes now. We're going to see a lot more meat when it comes to our lap traffic here, Linus. We're seeing a lot of those cars heading up ahead of them now. Could lap traffic be what Simon Edwards needs to get past here? We're on lap 15, we've gone past the halfway point in this race. Ward, looking at Tom Ward here.
Tom Ward is...
oh, big wobble. He's
wow.
off the track there. Trying to see what happens here on my camera, but my camera's just...
He's been ran over from behind by 11th place Stefan Nobis. I think we can get a replay of that here. He's going to come in a couple of corners. He's going to hit the brakes, and then he's just going to spin around. Nobis just drove straight into the back of him. Here you can see Nobis is the car behind, and he's way back. Nobis just completely missed his braking point. Ward spins off to the inside, and he's still going, but he's going to drop way back in the order. Actually, he has pulled off the track now, I believe. Nobis is still going though.
Up ahead. It's going to be between SJ Dunning here, Clark Williams, and Paul Grillo now. That trio without the car of Tom Ward there. Fighting real hard here out of 3 through 4 now towards 5. On top of each other there is terrible accident there for Tom Ward. Absolutely run over by Stefan Nobis, who himself has dropped a few spots, but awkward timing in those braking zones and a bit of a huge dive. Nobis, of course, has no nose cone now on that car. That will hamper his ability to keep Tony Stack behind him here. Up ahead of that group on lap 16 here, going on to 17. And Clark Williams looking to try and find a way past here. SJ Dunning, whilst defending against Paul Grillo in the 27, but looks like he's not quite got the momentum to do anything with this one. We've seen him making multiple pokes there. Dunning, he dives again into one. Big dive there for Clark Williams. Aggressive driving from a guy who's been very safe for most of his Monday Night Skippys career. Once again ends up side by side here in a corner that's going to favour the outside line. But he has to try something for it. Dives around the outside. Could he hold it too wide here? That's what he needs. He holds the exit. That's what he needed to get here, Linus.
It's a bit wide though.
Up towards turn 4. This should give him the corner. Doesn't quite have the speed with the shallow entry, and it'll go back to SJ Dunning. That is great racing.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. In the top 5, still nothing's going on up there. So just going to keep it with these guys for now. As Clark Williams all over the back of him now. He's got Dunning, Grillo behind him as well, and Tufts and Robertson all over them. So it's Clark Williams has to defend at the same time as he's on attack here. Has to watch out so he doesn't open the gap for the cars behind. But still great racing here, and looks like Dunning is going to be able to hold on to 7th place for now. Tufts not really able to do anything either to Grillo, and Grillo not close enough to Williams. So they make a move for half a lap, and then they spread out. Williams hard on the brakes down. Here comes Robertson on the outside of Tufts, but that's just going to cost him a lot of time. So nothing happening there again, as they're going to be single file for another couple of laps.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think Constantine up here in this group now is behind them. A little bit of a tap from Daniel Tufts in the back of Paul Grillo in this grouping. Just push, push, push. Hey, look, we want to come through as well. But then at turn 4, these guys slinging it in the braking zones, and that makes me a little nervous from up here in the commentary booth, Lena, seeing what these guys can get up to on the racetrack, and what just happened to Tom Ward there, of course. Seeing Tufts and Robertson just kind of chucking it in here is definitely making me blink a little bit when it comes to the racing positioning. And up front, still Hughes, Edwards, Cat, Daniels, and Cox. No one's changed position there. We'll let you know if they ever bother to. Anthony Pym Jones, dead man's ground for him. P6, no one in front of him, no one behind him. And looking
here comes
a bit
Williams
back.
again.
Yeah, trying it again, but not going to dive this time. Look at how much they close up behind him, though. This is the telling part of this. Tufts, Robertson, Nobis, Stack, and just shoving their cars into those braking zones. Really aggressive.
They're really late on the brakes, all of them. It's just a matter of time before something happens again, like we saw earlier, as we got Tufts going a little bit wide there on the exit, but not enough for Robertson to be able to make a move. And it seems like these guys, they have about 2 or 3 laps running single file. Then you have Williams making a move, something happens for about a lap, and then there's 2 or 3 laps single file again. So seems like there is some setup time to be able to do anything here. Williams again, though, a bit far back behind Dunning, so not sure if he's going to be able to do anything on this lap. We got Grillo moving out of line. I don't know why he's doing that, but either cooling down his engine or just trying to see what's going on.
Looking forward to seeing the Skippys blowing up again. That was a great couple of seasons where we had the engine overheating issues, making racing very nerve-wracking for the drivers, of course. As change at the front still not coming, but here comes Clark Williams yet again for that dive. Makes it happen, though, this time in turn 1. Contact there as a nose cone comes flying off the car of Paul Grillo. Just shaved the tip. Nothing too crazy. Just took the tip right off that car. Behind him, though, we can see Robertson up the inside of Tufts here. Contact between the two of them. Tufts goes round there. Misses everybody else, but going to replay what happened there for you guys, as it was just, it all kind of culminated earlier on, just coming out of turn 1 when the back of Grillo's car, or nose of Grillo's car, sorry, gets chopped off by the back there of Dunning. Side by side then for Robertson and Nobis through the corner. A little bit of a dump, Rowdy goes sideways action, and thankfully nobody else impacted there, but yeah, that got exciting for a moment there, as lap traffic definitely impacting our lead cars now. We've really broken this group up here as we're seeing cars just in the way slightly, leading things spreading out somewhat. And this could be Edwards' opportunity to try and take the lead here, make a pass on this one. It's going to be lap 21 here. Not much time to go, and there's a lot of traffic right ahead of these guys. This could be the big difference, the defining point, Linus. With how many cars that Clay Hughes has to navigate now successfully? Will they all go out the way? Will they all get out the way in the right places? Will they get blocked in? Because I can see them catching that double pair up ahead of them.
Yeah, it's Philip Kirk first now. That shouldn't be too much of an issue, but he seems to be staying in the way of Hughes here. That's not very good at all, as Hughes has to take a very shallow exit, as does Edwards, but here they go. They're going to pass him now. This is going to hurt Cat going into the last corner, but he backs out and he moves it. Wow, that's a very interesting move.
Doesn't know where to go, I don't think.
Wow. Well, anyway, they all got through. 3 laps to go now. So that's going to be about 3 minutes for Simon Edwards to find a way past Hughes, and he's not made it in 21 laps, so I don't really see it happening in these last 3 unless he makes Kamikaze move, or maybe the next 2 cars in front of him will come into play. But they've started to spread it out as well now. That's Crisp and Carr, so I think those guys are not going to impede on this too much.
Well, I think it is potentially possible they could, as we've seen it happen so far. Lap traffic has been a factor in this race. And will it be an opportunity for Simon Edwards? We'll have to find out in the next couple of laps. Not long to wait for this one, but they're going to try and do what they can. Clark Williams happily made it to the front of that group now, and he's staying out there in the 7th place for him right now. Is behind them, it is Dunning, Grillo, Robertson, Nobis, Stack. Although we've seen a bit of a separation there between Nobis and Stack after the damage to the nose cone of that car after his collision with Tom Ward. Clark Williams nicely secured there in 7th place. Good one for him. Anthony Jones navigating lap traffic, as here we look back at our leaders. The lap traffic's right on them here. This is where we're going to keep our eyes. Hughes and Edwards navigate that first of the lap cars. They're going to be on the next ones very quickly. 2 laps to go here at Tsukuba Circuit. Will we see the man who put it on pole, Clay Hughes, take home the trophy today? Or will it possibly be Simon Edwards? Will Simon Edwards have an opportunity here to make this happen? Has he got any options left, Linus?
Well, I mean, he's been catching him slightly in this race several occasions, but it's only been on that short back straightaway when he gets the draft. So, and now Hughes is going to have somewhat of a draft from the lap car in front of him as well. So I don't think it's going to be enough. These guys are just too evenly matched. As Crisp gets well out of the way there, so not going to give Hughes any draft, but he's got quite a big gap here to Edwards as he's coming into the last corner for the second to last time. Gonna be 1 lap to go here, and Hughes has actually extended that gap down to Edwards quite substantially on this lap alone.
Certainly has. We'll cross the line in just a second here and start our final lap at Tsukuba Circuit for Monday Night Skippies into that first corner. The concertina happens as naturally as always, and out of the corner they come. Simon Edwards has 1 lap, less than 1 lap now to complete what he needs to do. The lap cars ahead will not be a factor in time. He's going to have to find his own way past Clay Hughes if he can. This is where it all has to come down. Can he get it done? I don't think he's got enough timeliness, enough room.
No, it's just 1 more braking point to go after this one, and that's not a very big one, and they're not close enough. Gonna try and look from massive distances, but nothing's going to be able to happen. Hughes has got quite a big gap, and if he just goes defensive here on Edwards, we know as well the finish line is really early on the straightaway, so the move has to happen through the corner, and I don't think it will. Here he comes, Leah Hughes into the last corner for the last time. Edwards is right there, but not close enough. So Leah Hughes is going to win Monday Night Skippies at Tsukuba Circuit ahead of Edwards, Cat, Daniels, and Cox, just same order that they started in.
Very exciting collision there. Clark Williams and co will come to the final corner. Williams securing that 7th place here. Anthony Pym Jones crosses the line. Clark Williams will come across in 7th with Dunning, Grillo, and in 10th place Chris Robertson there, beating out the damaged Stefan Nobis in his machine. But wow, that
got
definitely
Knight, Bird and Morris
exciting
here, almost
yes,
3 wide out of the last corner, but they're going to single file out. So Knight is going to get that position, I think, ahead of Bird and Morris.
Does indeed. Sam will be across as well. The rest of our cars coming across now for our top 28 finishes on the lead lap here. Last cars in that group coming up now to the back straight here, including Carr and Kerry. Kerry just ahead of Carr here. Carr trying to do what he can to make a last opportunity happen for him here. Could have a maybe slightly better run through the corner. Could Can Liam Carr get this one done? Not going to have the speed, just loses momentum there on the exit. Across the line they'll come. Askar's there on the lead lap. With that, Linus will go to our post-race results. Coming home with the win at Tsukuba circuit in Japan here from Monday Skippys is Claire Hughes there with a fantastic run here for 24 laps. Simon Edwards in second place, Anthony Cat in third. Running out our top 5 is Ben Daniels and Matt Cox. Behind them is Anthony P.M. Jones with Clark Williams, S.J. Dunning, Paul Grillo, Chris Robertson in 10th place. 11th, Stefan Nobis, Tony Stack, Peter Cowan, Daniel Tufts, Dave Kirkman in 15th with Jack Knight, Stephen Bird, Chris Morris, Simon Mulby and Ewan Patterson. Rest of those results up on your screen. This track has definitely proved interesting. We've had races in the past with mega racing where they've been all over each other, side by side, constant change of position. This one felt a bit more like a barber race.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Like, they were close, they were making attempts on each other, and they were good racing all the way back through the field. We saw Robertson gaining 25th up to 10th, so passing is definitely possible. But with the short straightaways and the quick run through the turns, I just think it's they were way too close on performance. Like, we saw them qualify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just the way it was. The way they qualified is the way they raced on speed, and that's how they stayed the whole race. I don't know why they couldn't pass each other, but I just think their straights are too short, and you need long straights to pass when you're that even on performance.
Absolutely do, absolutely do. Well, hopefully we'll have a chance. We're going to have a chance to chat to Dave Kirkman first of all. Dave, busy race here today, and I'm just trying to find you in the actual running order here because I thought I saw you.
15th.
Yes, we did. 15th from 36th on the grid to 15th place. You survived the lap 1 carnage. Busy race here?
Yeah, that was very busy, very enjoyable. I messed qualifying up totally, unfortunately. So I qualified about 16 places lower than I should have done. But I avoided all the carnage. Did what I normally try and do, which is stay safe. Lost a few places as a result, but ultimately ended up finishing higher up. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that result.
A fantastic run regardless, from 36th to 15th there. Absolutely fantastic, as Linus Broström now standing by with Simon Edwards, who came home today in second. Thank you, Dave.
Simon, second qualifying position, second position all the way through the race despite numerous efforts. Just what was it that made it that you couldn't get past Leo Hughes in this one?
First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Good. It's the track. It just hasn't got that corner where you can sort of set it up and give it a good go. So I was doing the best I could, but Clear already had about a 10th on me in pace anyway. So with the toe and him not really making mistakes and not getting a really lucky bake from any of the back markers, I was sort of stuck there really, just hoping that I wouldn't get bulked myself and then and let Anthony behind me pass. So it must have been a boring race to watch.
Well, it was.
My best.
It was pretty exciting. There was things happening, and you were still trying. So, good race from you anyway. Anyone you want to send a shout out to?
Yourselves. I haven't shouted out for yourselves for a while. You do a good job, and I'm really glad. And I watch them back all the time. And that's great. And my sponsor, as usual, Masternaut. You do need to update my skin, though. I have sent you a new one, but you haven't done it yet. Just a reminder.
Blame Will.
Well,
I updated
Cheers,
them exactly 5 seconds before podcast. Thank you.
Right, no, sorry. Up until the last broadcast on Friday.
I wasn't even in the country.
Okay.
back to you, Rachel.
I take it all back.
Absolutely. Less arguing in the commentary booth, people. Thank you. Less arguing. Thank you very much for joining us, Simon. As always, second on the grid to second in the final results. We've also got a chance to chat to Ben Daniels here. 4th place today, Ben. You were part of this lead kind of pack. Follow the train shenanigans today. Also started in 4th and finished in 4th, like Simon. What is this circuit and why is it so tricky sometimes?
Hello, Rachel. Make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
No, we can't hear you at all.
You can't hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
April Fool already. Yeah, I think echo as Simon says, really. It's just one of them tracks where you just cannot, unless someone makes a mistake, you just cannot get a chance to even get past. I gather there was obviously quite a bit of excitement behind us, but for us it was just follow the leader and, again, hope that someone makes an error, but that just wasn't the case. So it was follow my leader all the way round for all the 24 laps or whatever it was. So, but at least this week I made it. The last 2 or 3 weeks I've ended up in the local hospital. So at least I made it this time without crashing.
Absolutely did. And just one fantasy change you'd make to the Monday Night Skippy series to improve racing at circuits like Tsukuba. Go.
Well, not do Suzuka this next season, because I just don't think
Tsukuba.
this will. Yeah.
No, what change would you make to the series to make tracks like this fun racing?
Oh my goodness me! I haven't had a chance to even
Anything
think
you
about
want.
that. I haven't got a clue. I haven't even had a chance to think about that.
Let's race in at night again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a
Oh
good
God, don't remind me. I still remember Mid-Ohio at the black screen of commentary. No, we're not doing that again. Alan, if you're watching this, do not do it. Whatever you do, if you think about it, just think about it and then put it in a small little cupboard in the back of your mind.
I'll pay you $10,
Close the door.
Alan.
How about reverse grid?
Reverse
Somehow.
grid, I love it. That would
Yeah.
actually be possible. Alan,
Yeah, oh,
do
good.
that. Thank you for joining us, Ben.
I thought it was
Okay,
cool.
thanks, Rachel. See
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks for joining us, Ben. Dave, go ahead. You have something to say?
Yeah, I would say that you can overtake on this track. I proved that you can, and you can set people up. If you go into the last corner, you can generally get people to move in the wrong place, which means that you can then get them on the first corner, which is what I did for about 3 or 4 people.
Well, there you go. There's a method to every madness, and Dave Gertman found a way today to make places. About 16 of them overall, actually. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We've had Ben Daniels, Dave Kirkman, and Simon Edwards join us here in the booth. I've been Rachel Wyford. I've been joined by Linus Brostrom, and Will, the master of one camera, Vincent, has been joining us from the production trailer. So thank you, and have a wonderful week. We'll see you same time next week.